Yeah. Well, and Dr. Naidu, people are often scared to see results, blood work, DNA, all kinds of testing. Is a bad gene necessarily a death sentence for them? And I know you kind of covered that, but I wanted to stay there for a moment because I feel like a lot of times people are scared because, you know, I used to have, my grandma would say, if you're scared of the answer, you don't ask the question. So sometimes people are scared of the test because they don't want the results because they think it's necessarily, going to predict their future. But your genetic wellness is really helping to prevent situations from happening and create a healthy outcome. So how would you answer that?
I agree. People don't wanted to see reds in their reports or H's in their reports, bolds in their reports, which is very normal. A lot of time they just go into that thing. Again, there is no bad gene. These are all good genes, but the way how they are expressing it, right? Again, these genes are just a loaded gun. Your lifestyle is the trigger, basically. They are there. They're not going to change anything. But if you keep poking on them, they will react, right? In simple terms, if you keep poking on something, it will react. So if you are, adding bad stuff to it, meaning, alcohol, these are the things which we already know: alcohol, smoking, or bad food, non-controlled food, too much sugars in there. These are the ones which are poking that thing. See, I'll take a simple example. If there is a too much of sugar intake in there, that directly affects the homocysteine regulation. When the homocysteine regulation is disturbed, it elevates the homocysteine. That leads to inflammation inside the blood vessels. When blood vessels are inflamed, then it causes the stress on the heart. So these are all interlinked, right? So again, these kind of junk food, or sleep is one thing. A lot of times, insomnia or not having regular sleep, that causes a lot of stress, that releases cortisoids, enzymes like that, adrenaline and corticosteroids. So that also leads this kind of a stress, which causes the inflammation in the heart vessels.
Yeah, absolutely. So is it true then that we have more control over our health than we think?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like biomarkers, pre-biomarkers, these pre-DNA testing, these can be now at everybody's fingertips here. Anybody can just go to it, get this test done, then understand, how it gonna affect them. I'll give you simple my example. I got this tested. Obviously, we work in this lab, we do this testing. So I used to drink like 4 cups or 5 cups of coffee every day. you know so my DNA came back and said, if you keep drinking more caffeine, it will cause you some issues. So I don't want to go detail into it. Then I dropped my coffees from 4 to 3 to 1. Now I'm having 1 cup of coffee. This is how lifestyle is. I changed my lifestyle from there to here and added some regular exercises and things like that. So I can see the difference in there now. My lipid levels dropped, things like that. So yes, we have more control now than ever before.